Hey there, everyone. It's Lumin. We're playing Agricola with Gray, Muddan, and PJ17. It's an EIKWM France G4, G5 game. Started this game like 3 minutes ago, and yeah, been just setting up a little. So this first pack has 5 or 6 pretty good cards. Fencing Master and Master Huntsman are definitely the two considerations here. Hi, Donba. Sunrise Admirer, Coal Investor would be great to come back, but more likely it's Conservator or Stockman. Fencing Master Prophet is a mini combo. Animal Buyer's here too. I feel like maybe Master Huntsman's the right choice. Even though Fencing Master definitely would be terrific here. G8 next game? Depends. It always depends on how I'm feeling for G8. Okay, so Market Woman. You look at these first 7 cards and you're like, maybe Spring Worker, and then you see Market Woman and then you're like, whew. I make no promises for what comes back. It could just be Corn Profiteer. What's going on here? Well, I was just dragging things down based on power, and Carrot Farmer and Seed Seller don't really have a place in my game. Village Farmer probably is what I'm going with. It makes Permaculturist a bad idea if Village Farmer's in the game, unless I have a way to get a ton of plows late only. Alright, so I'm really sure I want a Hearth now. Master Huntsman, Market Woman. Yeah, nice to have control, I agree. I might really take advantage of that, honestly. Fiddler seems okay. But how can I resist Truffle Digger when I have Master Huntsman? Puppeteer's okay, but it's a high food game, so Puppeteer's probably a little worse. Schnapps Distiller not really necessary. Food Critic? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely what I'm hoping to wheel out of that pack. Yes, Dom, but what if I have more food on top of a ton? I'm going to disagree about Truffle being redundant. Now, if I get Cornucopia and Wine Closet and uh, like Baker, then I definitely don't need this food. But I mean, come on, Master Huntsman is pleading with me to take the Truffle Digger. Hey, hi KLJ. Yeah, I remember that game. I mean, having a silly amount of food is only silly until you have like 4 or 5 people in stage 5, and you're like, how am I gonna feed these people? I want to get to stage 5 and be like, yep, I'm fed for the rest of the game without taking more food actions. What's the gold coin symbol? Oh, that's mega credits from Terraforming Mars. Yeah. So my channel things are channel credits, not channel points. Alright, so the Ock pack that I took forever to start with is slowly making its way back around. We are expecting to see Sunrise Admirer, Conservator, Stockman, or Coal Investor. I've streamed Terraforming Mars a couple times. It's only base game on Steam. Sunrise I won't see, huh, Donba? What was that? You want to say that again, Donba? So it was Coal Investor and Fencing Master and... Heck if I remember. Truffle Digger wants Woodworker to happen, because as long as someone is woodworking and accumulating space, it can be Truffle Dug. Sunrise is a very clear pick here. I mean, they could have, like, Baker's Servant and crazy stuff like that. I mean, I've seen relatively good cards coming around, so it could just be very strong Ox that plow. Spring Worker? What are you doing here? I don't need you. Yeah, late Spring Worker definitely makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, Businessman for the majors on Master Huntsman. Imagine having Kindling and Businessman and Master Huntsman. Start player 2 boars in a hearth. Yeah, this pack was bad. I'm not really sure Swiner didn't get like 400 boars, because then I'm taking actions to get 1 point and in the form of 2 boars. And I don't have Basin Maker, that's the reason. If I had Basin Maker, Woodworker, Swinard, Master Huntsman, Truffle Digger, I could do that. I could do that. Complete clown style, but... I really like the free so action also, but I'm going to take Businessman. You see, I kind of disagree that I'll want to bake in rounds 10 and 12. My idea is that I'll be taking a lot of wood that gives me a lot of free food. Permaculturist? Nah. Well, Stroller doesn't do much for me either. Well, which of my ox are... my stage 1 has to be Master Huntsman. I'm going to take Permaculturist. Okay, so... Hello, plows indeed. I mean, this pack is kind of silly. Donkey's not terrible because I want to fence relatively early for my boars, but then I need to make a second pasture just for this donkey. Gray says, I feel like I'm probably passing you a winning hand. Plum Patch for sure. I mean, how can you say anything for sure here? Like, I mean, I'm not taking Rake. I'm not taking Amusement Park. They don't fit me immediately. But Threshing Plow is not immediately off the team. It does make me want 6 fields here, which is... okay, maybe it's not on the team. I'd rather have Donkey. Yes, I will love my 1st/5th pick from this, which kind of makes me want to pick Bountiful Harvest first. Bountiful Harvest has a really good ceiling. If I play permaculturist, I don't need actual fields. Donkey does make Village Farmer a really smart and easy play in stage 1. That is a good point. But then I don't really need Sunrise Admirer. I guess that's fine. It makes Amusement Park a good wheel. Well, I mean, I feel like I wasn't inclined to play Village Farmer, but I guess I should look for reasons to play it rather than reasons not to. This is pretty clearly Broom. It'll force me to get Donkey out early. Sofa. I don't have enough support for a small house game. I mean, I have extremely efficient actions, but no, like, actual cards that say, here, have a small house. So, yeah, there's nothing here, really. I could use Sheep Market. I guess Sheep Market does turn sheep into veg grain. But Broom is just better, and I might wheel Sheep Market. I was thinking about Rotten Plow for a second, and then I remembered about Donkey. Baking Field is fine. Wooden Path is okay. There was a paved road, though. Hill Farmer Field Doctor, super strong, but that's like clear reasons to go 2 rooms, and I am not on that, you know? Shared Wall, no, because I want to be making my pastures really early, like really, really, really early. Like, don't even think about a room. Like, I'm going to be growing 4th, and I'm okay with it. Please, Chris, no Family Growth 5. I'm going to fence 9, I think. A 2x1 for boars and a 1x1 for donkey. And get everything set up and then grow. I think I can do that. I think my hand's good enough for that. The only real choices are... Well, I mean, Pet Door's not terrible here. My only other good take is Baking Field. Yeah, if I fence early, it lets me keep boar. And reduces my wood needs by 1, basically. I think I'm going to hope for Pet Door to wheel, honestly. It's very possible I'll need to broom before I get Pet Door out. If I could use Donkey in the Pet Door space, that would be amazing. But I don't think it makes enough sense here. Okay, Gray is definitely passing me some good stuff. He had to know I took Market Woman, right? Would you like a free veg and a grain and every harvest with a point? So now I want to set up Market Woman mid-game. Alright, we got a lot to do here. Rake is easy, Amusement Park is easy. Ceramics with Businessman was fun, but I gotta focus on stuff that I'm more likely to use. Rake is just 1 more point for 1 wood. Basically, I'm trading... Would I rather have 3 food and a wood or a point? I think the next person is more likely to use amusement park. Uh, I mean, it's the trade-off that I'm talking about, right? It's the wood and 3 food. I save the wood and I get 3 extra food by playing amusement park compared to rake. I spend those for a point. I think I'd rather have the wood and 3 food. Mostly for the wood. Yeah, 3 food can be worth a point if the food is early enough. And sheep market slam dunk. Now really hoping for pet door. Because now I want to be holding early sheep as well as early boar. Alright, this stage 1 is going to need a lot of discipline. Or I could just, nerf for the first growth and play all the cards in stage 2. Which could probably work. There's pet door. Alright, so my draft grade for myself here is extremely high. This is an amazing draft. Donba, careful there. Yeah, now I'm wishing I had Spring Worker instead of Businessman, but I don't know how I could have seen this kind of minor support coming. This is kind of ridiculous. I can probably win this game on 3 people. I mean, it's very possible. Like, all I need is a sheep and 3 grain fields, and it's gonna keep snowballing on itself. Oh, and we have some good initial news from the land of Chris. Going second. Got the 2 seat. Broom makes me want to play Businessman. Not wrong. Right now, in my mind's eye, I'm not seeing me having the time to play Businessman, if I'm being honest. Like, I have no spare time, right? Basically, from move 1, I'm going to need to commit to either 1 room Nur and then do everything, or do everything, give up on first growth, and, because I can only spend my wood on pastures or a room. I don't have time to do both. Alright, and sheep flips 1, which makes me really want to play Master Huntsman first and hope for 2 clay. Businessman can be good actions, yeah. So this is Master Huntsman. Or Village Farmer. I probably actually want to hide Master Huntsman for a while. Or at least for 1 move. Because taking 2 clay is probably something I want to be careful about doing. So Village Farmer is safe. I can even maybe plow 8. Yeah, it does. Businessman for miners is totally fine. I should at least be very competitive for Village Farmer. I'm not sure I'm going to stretch to win it. Most in points instead of sheer number, like Pickler. Yeah, I mean, I understand not liking it, but I think it's fine. Coal investor for Mudden here after PJ takes 3 wood. PJ signaling that he might want to play a miner. That's usually what happens with that. And here I'm hoping I get 2 clay. But Gray is very likely to take it, even without knowing about Master Huntsman. Alright, so I'm only 3 wood away from my fences action. Okay. Interesting info. But here it's a threshing machine plow for PJ. And somewhat interesting 1 grain for Muddan. That can be a little risky. But if you have something like corn on the cob, then it makes a lot of sense. It could be where Spring Worker ended up, though PJ with Threshing Machine Plow also says Spring Worker is likely. PJ playing Fencing Master here. Round 2 is fences. So I could be looking at 3 wood, fence 9. I did not see corn on the cob. But, I mean, Muddan's first pack could have been really bad because we took Baking Field out of that one. Baking Field Pet Door. You never really know. Let's see. So we'll see what Muddan does, but there's a chance I get 3 wood here. Muddan taking 2 read all but seals it, I think. I don't see how I don't get 3 wood here. Gray read stone food looks really good. Oh, but playing wood collector. Threshing machine plow with no... I really like threshing machine plow. I consider its real cost 2 wood. But if you have anything that wants you to sow early, it's amazing. So here's where I would almost always take reed stone food. But we have a plan. And that plan is defense 9 next move. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards ignoring Master Huntsman, which is ridiculous. But I could just play Market Woman Sheep Market and be off and running. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's just a cosmetic thing. Yep, those sheep are mine. Getting it out before major minor flips is pretty big. And honestly, if I can just hold all these things, I don't need to play Donkey immediately. I'm probably a bit short on actions to get Market Woman Sheep Market down, because I also need food in to take the sheep. Mudden taking clay. We'll see if Gray forces me to take the sheep here, but it should be pretty obvious. Yeah, like, there's plenty of stuff to fill up the farm with. So Gray is taking the fireplace here, which means I'm forced into getting the sheep right now instead of later. Oops. Honestly, I don't need a food action. Uh, wood, sheep market, market woman. And I can just eat 2 raw grain. Or raw veg, raw grain. Whoa, Muddan playing blacksmith? For the clay oven, presumably. That first grain just gets eaten for 5. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't know what crop support Muddan has, but taking a grain just to bake it isn't always great. I mean, I assume he has a plan for the oven, but haven't seen it yet. Oh, ceramics was in the game, you're right. Well, we get Market Woman here. Hoping for 3 wood sheep market next round. Ceramics. Could also get donkey down. Yeah, getting an Ock here. Yeah, for sure, Donba. So Gray definitely knows what I'm doing, but I have so many outs to feeding. So PJ and Muddan definitely look like they're in good spots. Gray takes 2 reed. This looks pretty axy. Here I take 3 wood and either 4 food, but I'd rather play start sheep market, and I might even play major sheep market ahead of it. If you get first family growth, you'll quit Agricola. I mean, we know Chris hates clown games, right? That's a proven fact. Yeah, I think I do want to play businessman. I mean, I want to play all of my miners and then broom. This looks like a game where I might just play broom in round 14 because I suck. But honestly, my hand's good enough. Apparently, FG parentheses round 7 FG is questionable to the auto mod. I'm actually assuming that Gray starts with Axe here. We still need to see what PJ's doing, of course, and Muddan. I do really like how much wood I've already taken from this game. I've taken 12 wood so far. Of course, I've added 4, Gray's added 5. PJ's adding plenty, and Muddan is adding 4 in round 9. Alright, well, Muddan takes the 4 food traveling. Oh, Gray is slamming BMW here. Interesting. Paying blacksmith and eating a reed. Um, Well, I'm really glad that I didn't play Master Huntsman yet because look at how many majors are already gone. I have to start sheep market here. This is not even a question. So we turn the sheep that breeds to veg grain, and probably eat 2 grain. I'm seeing a hearth in my future more than an oven. And we get Reno 5. What am I doing? I'm gonna see if I get 4 clay. But I wouldn't mind just buying Hearth without Huntsman out. Or would I? No, of course I'm going to play Huntsman by paying a veg. Yeah, so my next objective is to get the boar breeding. Now that family growth isn't 5 and the first room is right downstream from me, I should continue to not care about a room. PJ built a stable, which suggests storage shed or remodeler, but I didn't see either, so it would have to be first pick. There was changing plans, but one stable for changing plans is not super great. Truffle Digger will never see the light of day. Just you wait. Just you wait. PJ plays Stockman. I don't see how that makes sense right now, but we'll go with it. In general, building stables when you play Threshing Machine Plow is a good idea, I would say. You'll generally have enough wood to do it. Four clay and reedstone are both really good for me. But Gray probably takes reedstone here. Not really sure what he's up to. Takes wood. Yeah, it's the psychology of doing it for sure. So I really like the effect that taking 4 clay has on the rest of the table. Because my feeding is pretty good. Muddan has a lot of reserve feeding. Gray has the fireplace. But I guess I just take reedstone here because it's not a big enough effect on the table. Because if like one more person is really hungry, nah, I had no time for that. I think Master Huntsman, completely kills the chance of having Stockman. Be worth it. Yeah, so I'll play Master Huntsman in either Reno Fireplace or Huntsman 6 Clay, something like that. I'm still pretty flexible. I mean, if I get to start breeding veg grain boar every harvest, it should be pretty tough to beat. I mean, I'm still looking at playing Truffle Digger personally. I know Businessman has a really nice place in my game, but yeah, 6 clay could be for sure. Kind of would expect Gray to do it. PJ building a stable here. That's not the worst move. It delays him needing to defend start for one more round, and maybe that cow has a purpose. Mudden playing Baby Sling. That tells me I want to build really soon. Gray takes 4 clay or 2 sheep here, probably. Animal yard. Fair enough. Come on, let's see round 7 growth. That's not round 7 growth. Gray cat lover? Maybe. That would explain a lot of things. So I really want PJ to grow even without... I mean, I will be a good person and add Baby Sling to the board. Because PJ might not immediately remember it. 6 clay is pretty good. And then either 2 reed or Master Huntsman. Gray has 7 wood. The problem is needing Master Huntsman and Businessman out. Really wanted growth 1 later, but this is okay. It's definitely not the worst. 2 read better than Master Huntsman? Kind of. I'm not done setting up yet, though. Would really like to be done setting up. PJ does fish here before growing, allowing both of them to grow. I would be really surprised if Gray doesn't take the 2 read. Oh, right, I need to worry about pottery also. Well, I guess I'll just not get pottery. It might not be a very effective... Well, it could be very effective Businessman still just because I have so many miners I want to play. Okay, so Muddan's getting 6 wood for sure. Even if I take 4. The 4 now prevents Muddan from getting 4 now and 6 later. Do I have this move to waste, though? I don't think so. The 4 wood does pay for room parts. Oh my god, I have no time to do anything. Yeah, I don't have time to do anything. I'll just let Mudden get all the wood. Seems pretty bad when he already has all the food. And first growth. PJ changes plans here. Not the most perfect sequence from PJ, but I think it's about neutral. Maybe it's one action slow. Yeah, and then 6 here. Okay. Plenty of good options for miners. Probably amusement park, honestly. I should also consider just getting fireplace or hearth immediately. Muddan could just start pottery here and make me very sad. Instead plays it on major, fair enough. Gray grows with wooden path. So I guess he has paved road or knows it's not in the game. If I rebuild stables, he will get nothing and a cow for the next 2 stables. I can't play Baking Field first, which is really too bad. Pet Door allows me to play Donkey earlier. I might regret not playing Amusement Park first, though, if I don't. Eight clay versus 7 clay. I'm just gonna take the hearth now. Yeah, so this is, we'll see if this pays off. I'm now breeding 6 food and 2 grain every harvest. I don't know why Muddan did that on Maymai instead of start. I probably assume he forgot. I'm not inclined to remind him at this point. My game is super tenuous. Especially because Muddan is very possibly build growing here again, and I can only get to room parts. Getting the 2 reed here instead of reedstone keeps me flexible for Reno instead of woodroom. So number 1 priority miner right here is actually Pet Door. Then Donkey, probably. then grain market. I think I don't have time to play baking field. Sunrise and Permaclown are probably not happening. Well, Mudden not getting a read here is actually great. He just plays the well instead. I think I should take 4 wood if I can get it. That would involve Gray doing something weird here, which he doesn't do. I should probably take the joinery. And then I'll build a room next round. I'll be able to. So I'm growing in my normal spot. It's just that Muddan and Gray both got boosted by Baby Sling. PJ playing Schnapps Distiller makes sense. You do want to be feeding with Ox when you have Fencing Master. The extra wood's really nice. So I can't play Pet Door anymore. That's actually a problem. I'll have to grow with Baking Field. And take wood later. Alright, so my growth is pretty delayed here, but I'm not going to get it down super late. Get my person down super late, and I mean, I'll have everything as long as I can get a bit of wood. Like Businessman for Pet Door Donkey. Gray plays Food Critic before Vine Dresser. Food Critic is definitely a good card when you have a guild already. PJ is going to be day laboring once a harvest. Muddan might be in the best spot here if he can get Fireplace or Hearth. I think that's all his game needs, really. He's getting 4 wood, 4 clay here. Oh, Clay Pit. Fun. Once I grow, I'll be donkey plowing. PJ taking start screwed up his plans a little. Pet Door is the number of rooms, right? So once I get a 3rd room, I can breed on Pet Door itself. I don't really need Grain Market anymore, just because I have... I mean, I'll still play it if I can. These guys all have good amounts of wood. So the best thing about my plan right now is that I'm fed for the rest of the game, and I can just take wood and plow very aggressively. There's a bunch of stuff on the board. Oh, that's me not taking amusement park food. Boo me. Boo me. I was going to be like, these guys don't know what they're doing. And turns out it's me. I'm the one that forgets all the food on the board. The very good news here is that I'm building. Reedstone for Muddan, yeah, makes sense. Gray takes the sheep and activates Food Critic. I'm going to put that on BMW just in case. Well, unless he has Peasant's Boutique, this is going to be a good place for it. Yep, no surprises in my moves here. And we do have a bunch of clay in the game now with PJ going on Clay Pit. Probably really wants to sow all that. Muddan getting a fireplace seems good. I might have fenced, just because PJ can definitely fence right here. Though I guess PJ wants stables pretty badly. Gray is starting, so get to be second next round. Gray probably gets 3 pigs. Like, fencing is a good action for Gray on his next move. My only playable miner is Donkey or Baking Field, and Donkey kills a breeding pair. I do have capacity for boar. I could keep boar in the big pasture and sheep in the house. Sheep in the house. The 3 stone is just hanging out there. PJ did sow the veg. Nice. Looks like Muddan's taking the stone to get a lock on that stone oven. Well, I guess PJ could take it, but doesn't have any grain. I feel like fencing is definitely Gray's best move here into 3 boar, but he takes a veg here instead. So I definitely want the 4 wood. If I don't get the 4 wood, I could consider the 3 boar. Four wood's definitely good here for our purposes. We can start pet door donkey. I don't really expect to get a plow here. Wait, why has PJ not been plowing middle? This makes very little sense. I'm not sure I need that much more wood this game, especially if I'm trying to plow 8. One thing I'm super thankful for is that only Muddan is getting to 4 people by this round. Um, right, awkward fencing because of threshing plow. I guess he needs to spend 2 wood on something. Because, I mean, fencing 4 pastures here is good, too. Remember Sunrise? I'm not playing Sunrise. It doesn't make any sense for me. I'm definitely not getting plow here, but at least I can start to make sure I do. Well. And I will restart second action next round if I can. Oh, I guess Gray can just sow right now. It's probably the best move. Yeah, so I'm first action plowing, which means I need to decide what I'm doing here. I can just take a cow for fun. Could also take 5 clay and try to build again. Though that limits the amount of fields I can end up with. PJ might be trying for 8 fields in the end here. Gray gets a food critic fish food. Do I have enough actions for all of that craziness? Do get to see Broom pretty soon. I guess I'd rather sow next round, but Gray's actually saying he's gonna sow. Even if I plow. Stone oven's not gonna happen. I could just fence 2 and hold cows. I could play Truffle Digger, but I already kind of don't need wood. Truffle Digger is the fun play. I don't have enough actions to justify it. Room feels a bit late. If I take 5 clay, then I plow. I take 3 reed if I can get it, but I mean Mudden could take the reed at any time. Gray could take the reed at any time. Maybe if I just take a cow here. I think that's probably my best option. So I'm going to start my plows up here. Then do here, then do here, then do here last. That keeps me flexible. PJ plays Seed Seller. He will also want to sow next round. I don't really need to sow at all this game. Because sheep market woman is enough. And if I can get grain market down in the last 2 harvests, that's just silly. Sunrise definitely would save me a couple moves, but it cost me 7 food. And while I have 7 food, I don't know if I want to spend the 7 food. Oh, I have joinery. I should have considered truffles. Mud Den getting to baby sling without allowing anyone else to grow is pretty nice. Yeah, and I don't need veg. My ideal is sow and start, but I don't think I'm getting that. Definitely not, says PJ. Um, hmm. I guess all that's really left for me to do is take wood. Truffle Digger is like, I don't know, a 5 or 8 food action. So I probably shouldn't do it. Alright, you were right, Donba. Truffle Digger's dead. Mud Den upgrades to a hearth, putting the expensive fireplace. So let's see, wood. Do I give up on village farmer? No. I could just fence here. Or I can go for the clay reed combo. Build another room. No, my farm is too busy to do anything else. I'll take wood. Stables are going to be good for me if I can swing it. A single sheep is worth a point. I mean, it's very tempting to end this game on 3 sheep, just to let it breed into the sheep market. So I have 2 wood spare after broom and 3 fences. Yeah, the reed wasn't safe. The clay wasn't safe because of renovating and pottery. So that's why I didn't really go for either. I'm really hoping Plowsow flips. Fence here, I guess. Spring Worker never came out. Is this too aggressive? Am I getting 3 more plow actions? We'll find out. Possibly the hard way. So I got veg, grain there. Oh, this is also a joinery point, I guess. Well, almost. I need to broom. PJ gets the stone oven ahead of Mud Dan. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And no need to pay the blacksmith with so much stone in the game. I'll feed a boar. There's Vine Dresser for Gray, even though he'll need to spend this action, 2 wood, and a sow this round. Muddan takes single cow and eats it. Alright, the round was grow. I'll sow here if I can. Probably sow just 1 veg, 4 grain. I mean, it's most likely start grain market broom is happening next round. Gray's got a nice little food critic already, but with no more guilds. I guess he can get to, well, 5 is very easy with the cow, and then 7 is possible with grain veg. So yeah, it looks like he'll get 6 points off of it, which is very nice. If I were him, I'd be really concerned about paved road, though I guess it's hard for him to justify playing Woodpath if he wasn't already sure. Interesting question. Mudden takes Reedstone. We'll see if Gray sows here. It makes too much sense for him not to. And indeed he does. So how much value is grain market actually to me? I think I have to throw it away. And just play broom here. And possibly play 2 of the broom miners. Yeah, because if I don't start Plowsow in this round, it's going to get kind of rough. I already don't have much to do, is part of what I'm thinking about. Because I can take a cow, I can take 4 wood, but those aren't amazing. Okay. Heavy plow. Tuileries Garden, clay hut extension, hammer, evening prayer. Oof. Yeah, this is no good. JFB. Yoink. I wish I knew about clay hut extension. I could play millstone. yikes. One of the sadder brooms in history for sure. I think I've had slightly worse. You really want those free point and food ones. You know, I could have just taken 3 stone. Mud Den plays Prophet. That's nice. Broom is almost always sadness. I disagree. It can be a real champ sometimes. This broom is very sadness, but I mean, it's kind of because my game is already determined. So the 4 wood is gone. Gray takes the 3 wood. This doesn't scream mansion. Guess I take the cows over the sheep. Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't need the grain market. It's interesting what next round will what will happen next round. I'm not really sure. I know what's going to happen. My animal capacity is not great here. I do like that no one else is having an amazing game. Gray's game looks okay, but the fencing is really late. Alright, nobody took the stone, nobody took a huge pile of clay. I'm plow sowing all my stuff. The stable's actually going to be 2 points because it holds a second breeding thingy. Alright, how do I want my farm to look? Muddan starts with steel plow, I see. So that guarantees village farmer for me, I think. Let's see, I'll want to reno. I want to take wood. Oh, I could just plow here. This is 2 points. What's the reno queue looking like? Gray's not really involved. Alright, well, I got my 8 fields. I have all animals breeding. I have all the crops. All I need is people for more points. That's like my only remaining point ceiling. Gray is likely to take growth, I would think, but the Plowsow action's really good for him. Oh, wait, no. Muddan's taking plow, so what am I even talking about? So Muddan isn't going to get that last sling, I don't think. Because otherwise he might be in the winning position. Muddan takes a veg. Sure, that's a 2-point veg. Gray takes some food. I don't know what that is. You could take 3 stone or 4 stone, and either would be fine. I can actually start breeding these sheep. I don't actually need to... eat them anymore. Oh, I could use sheep market in reverse now. That's funny. Let's see. Stone, Reed, Reno is 3 moves for 3 points. Am I really at that point in the game where I have nothing else to do? I think so. Like, my other option was just joinery, and yeah, it's a bit sad. PJ plays Glutton. Regrets. That would have been amazing for me. So I'm hoping for Grow, Reedstone, Reno, or Grow, Reed, Reno, rather. Given that I don't need the food, I don't need the stone. I wish I could kill off this donkey. Gray can still win this. Well, maybe not. I think Muddan probably has too many card points to fall here. A grain is a really nice move for Muddan. Gray takes the stone. At least that's what the play-by-play says. Muddan's not struggling on feeding as much as I was hoping. Gray is threatening the double Reno. What do I have here? Sheep market and amusement park, yeah. I think I just don't have a high enough ceiling. For wood is a couple points. I could use... I could build stables to get like an extra point on top of that. Muddan obviously takes the plow, so we'll see if Gray grows. He could Reno and guarantee both Renos. Because I would just take Reedstone if he doesn't. Yeah, it was never clear why PJ didn't fence the 2 more pastures. That's pretty weird. Oh, my animal counts are all wrong. I don't have a big enough family for all this food. Yeah, so I'm presuming Gray has paved road or saw it discarded. Then again, there's no real way for Mud Dan or PJ to play it now that I took this 4 stone. Yeah, so Gray's not going to let me renovate, but that's okay. I'll just take 4 wood and probably 3 wood. 3 wood, 3 wood's also okay. 4 wood stables is also okay. Steel plow, the best miner to do on start round 13. I mean, it's definitely one of them. It also says, though, that you don't have crops multiplying beforehand, which is a little sad. But if you were really busy on building a big house and fences, then yes. Hard to find something better. I mean, heavy plow. So a stable is a 2-point move for me, and maybe I should do that first. PJ goes daylabing. Makes sense. Oh, he's in the reno queue now, so Gray has to reno. I guess 4 wood is still a better move than stables for now. Is it? No, maybe not. Maybe I don't have alternate options, so I should stables now. Should PJ want to stables? The sheep is still a good move for PJ, though. This really doesn't benefit me at all. Alright, so a stable is 2 points. And a wood grab makes 3 points for 2 moves. If I take the 6 wood and then stable, then... Or the 4 wood then stable, I get 4 points with 2 moves. So it is worth doing. I just really have to hope PJ takes the sheep here. Oh, Stockman. Well, Stockman doesn't get him the sheep yet. So we have to hope that he doesn't stables. But on the other hand, I just take wood again and I net my 3 points without stables. So I guess it only costs me 1 point if PJ builds stables here. Sadly, I don't have a way to get a 5th boar. Should have eaten a veg earlier. No, I didn't have capacity, never mind. This whole issue has been capacity, not anything else, really. And it turns out I probably should have fenced an extra space. For capacity and because I didn't need 8 fields. PJ was threatening, so... PJ with a Sobake. Very gluttonous, that one. Muddan could take 2 sheep here. Blocks Gray from getting 2 points and gets 4 food. Muddan has 1, 3, 5 food on farm, basically, extra. Oh, Chief. Gray getting 2 sheep here is really nice for him. Yeah, I guess I could have taken paved road. No, I mean, all of the miners I took had such a big purpose. This was a fun setup, even though, or even if it doesn't end up with too much. Like, I got a lot of stuff going on. Gray's going to, well, not max his food critic because he doesn't have cows. Oof. That's really good. I don't like how Muddan has this plow just hanging out. Neither him... Yeah, they weren't doing it. Alright, PJ, build your fences. Team effort here. I don't think it matters much. Gray can... be pretty well off. Too bad I can't, like, turn a boar into a sheep right now. Chameleon also would be just, like, an extra point. Like, if I freaking got a chameleon in here. Oh, my game didn't fit these miners at all. How sad. So, let's see. I harvest all. This becomes 5 food. This becomes a sheep just because. This becomes a food. And I breed all. Alright, what do I end up with here? I mean, my game's not bad. But I think Muddan has more stuff going on. I didn't get joinery points. Oh, okay, 49. Muddan needs to have, what, 45 showing? Oh, but he needs to eat points, so I think I'll get him. Maybe not. Maybe we tie. And, okay, Gray's behind. Okay, so yeah, looks like managed to squeak out a tie here. And going for the stables aggressively paid off. Backspace. So we survived growing fourth with a clowny strat. And this is how you do farming before growing and still make it work. Gray ends up with 41. And PJ looks like it's probably mid-30s. How is my final farm showing 41? Because I hadn't put my stables down yet. Yeah. Fed 26. Classic. 18 plus 8, obviously. Yeah, GG. Alright, good instincts, Damba. Better than me. I had me a bit lower, and Muddan... I mean, I probably could have guessed around this for Muddan. Solid game for sure, getting a lot of wood. But probably could have fenced earlier. Fencing earlier is so valuable. If my broom was... 37 for PJ. GG indeed, Maden. I mean, yeah, I had a total POS broom, but you played well. I think maybe fencing earlier helps you a bit, but with profit, I see the reason not to. So that's 49, 37, 49, and 41. Like, look at this broom. I got a hand mill and this. I didn't have the resources for clay hut extension. I had a donkey already, so I didn't need heavy plow. Evening prayer this late in the game. Psh. Oh yeah, like my first miners pack was so good. But yeah, tempo is how I won this, or tied for the win rather. Just being ahead on the things I needed to be ahead on. Yeah, if Millstone was the pick. Yeah, and I mean, I didn't need it. I could have calculated my food better and seen that Millstone is just like, I'm paying you a food to get 3 for myself. Like, what am I, to get 4 for myself? What am I doing? When I end with 13 grain, 5 veg, and an extra pagan sheep. I could have used the glutton. 3 food, 6 food, 8, 11. Yeah, I just have 11 food sitting around here, doing nothing. Alright, so that'll be it for me today. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you for the next one.